But here's Freedom Escape continuing to make ground down the centre, frag and behind. Freedom Escape coming after Pankhurst. Freedom Escape, Pankhurst kicking. Pankhurst, Freedom Escape goes to it, gets it.
Welcome back to Bet Doctor, Behind the Curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. I'm in studio with John Walter, who...
At least you're smiling. Look at this. Do I make you smile? You were very sad when I came in originally. It must be that 3-week holiday, like it must have really made you sad.
Don't talk about the holiday. Don't deflect. It's Queenslander.
You're not a Queenslander?
Yes, I am.
What, originally?
I was born Sunny Coast.
DK, can you confirm that, mate?
That's why I'm back.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
I'm back home.
News to me. Just bandwagon jumper after last night.
Every Victorian goes for Queensland because they hate New South Wales as well. So DK
True.
and Nico, they've kicked home Queensland as well. See you later, Walt.
That's it. Yeah.
Benny Hunt.
What are you even talking about?
I'm sure we'll talk about it again. At least they deserved it. Normally every year they crap, come over the line last 2 minutes and jam us. Last night they were all over us all night. I'm happy with the loss.
It's the biggest choke since Mido Pereira on the PGA Championship.
Well, probably their 4 best players weren't even picked in the side. That's a good effort. They've still got that much on them and they still can't win. But Jesus, anyway. You can't bottle what Queensland have got. I wish you could.
That's why we're up here. That's why we've found a league.
We're trying to just, absorb it.
So what have you been doing since I've been gone? Are you going to start your own betting joint?
Yeah. I'm trying to work out a name bad enough, like Walt Saggy Nuts Bet or something. I don't know. Like, it's just amazing. Every day they're coming up, and I guess everyone's trying to take advantage of the poker machine model that you can now. But it's I don't know. Is it good? Is it good for the industry, the little things, or is it irrelevant? I don't know. I don't know what they are.
Seems crazy. TopSport doing an amazing job. DK, you've got a bit of experience. I guess all three of us have. I think we'd be absolutely crackers to start a joint. I couldn't think of a worse idea. What do you reckon?
Mate, everyone's racing to do it. I mean, a Solarium bet's going to be soon, isn't it, Nico? It's up shortly, and our man there, my man, my protege, he's apparently starting Solarium bet. But
is that a real thing?
It's not the name, but he.
It's not the name, but it's
well, it could be. Have you seen some of them? Oh, my God.
You can just name them what you like these days, but I'll give you a tip. If all those people starting new bookies and whatnot, if you're going to take the BetMaker software, do not go on an odds comparison website because you just shelf yourself for how terrible the odds are. Okay?
But that's the point. That's the point. It's not bookmaking. It's literally you're buying a poker machine license and you're a marketing company to try and talk people into, using your service. They're obviously people that are not price sensitive and they're people they don't want to manage. It's not actually bookmaking anymore. It's buying a poker machine license because you can restrict people hard enough that you don't even have to monitor them anymore. That's the whole idea of the software. So I guess that's what they're buying into these days. It's not buying a corporate bookmaker's license. It's buying a poker machine license.
And that's the good thing about TopSport. They take a bet, they put their nuts on the line. And I don't think it was all smooth sailing for them last night in the Origin. I know a little bit of a text message to Tristan, how'd you go? And it sounds like a bit of a chop out. So I think they got jammed late on the plus. So wowee, some interesting.
The plus was pretty heavy, wasn't it? Like, I guess it was what they were $1.30-ish, $1.25, $1.30.
Yeah. So it was interesting. Another little head-to-head matchup was at Warwick Farm yesterday. The Milky Bar Kid 2-horse race against Naval Seal. What'd you make of that, Walt?
Well, it was weird when you saw Naval Seal sort of under the pump. How far was the race? 1,900 from home or whatever. You thought maybe Brenton might be going a little bit slick, and then when he sort of went for the persuaded before the bend and old mate Milky didn't look like he was responding. And what was it, 45.67, no one can find me a slower last 600 in the history of racing.
For a furlong there, I thought it was going to get beat.
Well, literally, I don't know. Like, Mark Van Gestel could have got out on track and beat him home the last 400. So, it doesn't surprise. But the poor, I don't know. It was one of the weirder races you'll ever see. The 2-horse spectacle. You normally expect him to jog trot, and old mate's out there trying to set a track record. It was interesting, I guess.
We've had some match racing down in Victoria. Do we need more of it, DK? Head-to-heads?
No. Seen it once. Let's a open better loosen up, and as opposite to what you said, they had a barrier trial. They just set. That was like having a track gallop barrier trial. Like normally that's what they are. We'll just do it like a working gallop, and we'll sprint home the last 2 furlongs or something. So no, boring as batshit. Lead me out. Salmon trout. Pass.
What would the average be, like 37.5, 38 for that sort of thing on a heavy track? So what's that, 7-8 seconds? What do they say, 6? It's like 48 lengths below average. Holy hell.
I thought a wheel was going to fall off the Milky Bar Kid at one stage.
Well, it obviously did. It obviously did. And it's still in the field for Saturday at even money, if you want to chime in with with a 2.5 kilo penalty or whatever it's got.
Oh, it's crackers. DK, you've hit the front. We've got some of your results popped up here. I tell you what, it's a proper grind though. I think you're plus 3.15 units. It's never easy. I tuned in with one of yours the other day, and an 81 pop fought back along the fence and just absolutely jammed you. So,
well, that was good. Find one, and then the other two favourites are going to be last. Said, well, geez, mine could be up the front here, no speed, beautiful. Well, it sits outside the 80-1 chance. They crawl. He just travels to it and can't put it away. Unbelievable. Like, fair dinkum. I went off my head after that. Your leader kicked back at 80-1.
I got to watch the replay.
It's unbelievable.
That 80-1 winner, I don't know how many 80-1 maiden winners have been lately, but I've run into them. But, like, calm sir, steamed to the line at Flemington 2 weeks ago, was it, Nico?
Yep, one at
Well,
Flemington.
Wangara had 2 starts ago when we were on 350 to evens. It loomed to run past 200-1 chances and couldn't, right? Those two, the thing to beat at home, the winner of that race has had 2 runs since. Got beaten 20 links and 20 links. The second horse that couldn't run past had 1 start since. Beaten how far, Nico? Have a guess.
20 links?
20 links, correct. And Calm, so couldn't run past when we were on at 350 to evens. You can steam to the line at Flemington at 50-1 2 starts later. Like, this is the shit I'm putting up with this year. Like, I've never seen more form reversals lately, Nico. I don't know if you've noticed form reversals. I know it's part of the course, poly to heavy to poly, but I mean I've just never seen so many go horrible on one service and just go back on the next. That winner of the first yesterday, like it got beaten 20 links at Donald the other day. They put the blinkers on, it wins by 4 links in town next start. Like, This is the shit you got to put up with this time of year. Fucking, I just can't be on the wrong side of it. Anyway, I said I was coming off the long run. I can't wait to get it through winter. And I think you said, Nick, Scoot or something somewhere that I was similar score this time last year and I really kicked into the spring. So let's hope for the subs I can do that.
I think it was the ballet dancer won by panels. I think that was a turn. Once I saw it win like that, I thought DK's back in the zone here.
Yeah. The boogie dancer go yesterday, Nico. How far did it win by?
I was on.
Yeah, you're on it. Yeah, and Jenny Jerome on Monday at Donald, it won by 4 links hard held. So they come out of the same race, and I backed the third horse. I said, well, that's good form. Backed the third horse at Ballarat on Sunday, sold everyone in. This fucking first beat. They could crawled in front, kicked clear, 200, it's fucking cactus. Like, seriously. Just goes on and on and on. When's it going to stop? Just got to keep ploughing. But everyone wants to tell you how easy this caper is, and fucking put up with this shit. Anyway, we'll be right.
I had La Melody cost me a new car yesterday, so I tell you what, I can get a beat at any price. It was $1.30.
$1.20, mate. Don't underestimate yourself. You might have got on at the overs at the 130, but I think it SP5's on.
Oh,
was it unplaced?
A cardiac arrhythmia. I pulled up the cardiac arrhythmia.
Yeah, you had the horse.
I pulled up cactus. Nico, what about you? Sandown yesterday. How's the winter grind going for you? How's the battle?
I had a good few weeks on a little hiatus from the show. Probably yesterday was a bit of a struggle out there at Sandown. I had one of DK's old stories, a form reversal with the new stable. Bright Oak to John Leake.
Oh, the Fingerada. I saw it was in the English sale. It was the English sale. I only got it for 10 grand or something.
Yeah, beat Mr. Drew 2 starts ago and then comes out and wins in Melbourne. So, that was a good result.
Great.
Bumping into it.
Grey in the wet, Nico. Grey in the wet. Keep telling you. Got to keep telling you the grey's in the wet.
If the Awesome Son had a one, I might have been similar to Scooty. Maybe a bit worse car than what he would have bought. But
I mean, Jay Sandu.
He's fine, Jay Sandu.
Good trainer, Jay Sandu.
He's full of confidence, isn't he, Jay Sandu? When you hear him speak, he's a confident trainer, confident person.
Yeah, he is.
Is he a Mexican?
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah.
Now, what about
Queensland
Grafton?
supporter.
I'll tell you what, we're in for a bit of a treat, but how's the Grafton Carnival? Well,
Yeah, I think they got to cut. I know it sounds terrible, but cutting meetings. It's just this, like the third that goes Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday. I know there's been a bit of a mess up this year or whatever, but it just seems to be like one too many. That track seems to be getting hammered. But
have you heard of Warrnambool? 3 days in a row?
yeah, but they're insanity. They are insane. It's madness. It's all about the most insane people on earth all conglomerating together. Right? Warrnambool, but I'm more worried about the track. Like it's been hard, nearly impossible to run on there for first 2 meetings. It'd be interesting to see what happens there today.
Real weird one. I thought no Chris Waller runners in the Grafton Cup today. It's
Why do you
not
think that was weird?
It's not a qualifier for the big dance, which he said he'd avoid all those qualifying races. He had 11 noms in the South Grafton Cup, so a lot of the local horses just get balloted out. And he only paid up with 3 runners in the South Grafton Cup. And Gay won it with Surf Dancer, and he runs second anyway. So maybe there's a little bit of karma.
I just want to qualify because I've seen that there's a big man there who's, are we part of Racing Twitter? Is this a part of Racing Twitter?
That us?
Because it gets, so are
Is
we
there
allowed
shows
to
on
talk
Twitter?
about this on this because it's part of Racing Twitter? Because we're not allowed to bag people. But no, it's pretty bad, isn't it? It's pretty bad when he's nominating a lot of horses, but it couldn't look worse. I'm not saying that he's doing the wrong thing because if I owned a horse for him, I'd be expecting him to do it, but very strange that he doesn't want to travel his horse for a Grafton Cup today, but a South Grafton Cup that's a qualifier. He's got 10 in there, whatever he did. And I thought the best was when they came out with positive news saying they've reviewed it and the only reason they didn't have more than 20 runners, so more emergencies, was because they don't have saddle cloths with numbers higher than 20 in the region.
No way.
And they came out publicly and said that. That's why they didn't have more emergencies, because they don't have saddle cloths that go above 20.
Oh, I've heard it all. We keep hearing that it's flying racing in New South Wales, and obviously you followed a lot closer than me, Walt. And something else that caught my eye was the abandonment of Warren. It's like a dirt gate here. It sounds like the topsoil or the soil put on the track was full of rocks up to the size of golf balls, and even the local quarry would knock back that. They wouldn't even take the dirt that they've put on the track, and now this track's out of play. What the heck has gone on there?
And it's one of the better tracks, Warren. Apparently it's council maintained, and they've used road base rocks to fill the divots all around the track. So you can imagine what that's like. And unfortunately, I've had experience with it with golf courses when they use bad fill. It actually sort of takes a long time to get to the top. So if anything's grown over that, you've basically got to take it down, a metre or however far it is and take the whole course out. That's the only way you're going to remove it. And you can imagine a horse hitting a rock or whatever.
Flicked up, jockey in face.
Yeah. So
especially with jockey safety, it's paramount at the moment. We've had a couple of girls go down and most of them are okay at the moment.
Thank Christ.
Gee whiz, jockey safety, this below par soil, it just...
Well, people are worried about whip rules and stuff like that. This is, these are the sort of things that are going to hurt the industry. Big time. It's a lot of core issues that, as I said, that they concentrate on prize money as the, the champion of how good racing's going, but the route level, the training, recruiting more. It sounds sexist, whatever. I'm not knocking female jockeys, but there's just so many of them getting hurt. I'd like to see more male apprentices. Absolutely. The recruitment of that, training of them, looking after these tracks, trying to keep everyone as safe as possible. Trainers, everyone should be a lot bigger issue in racing, because that's animal welfare is one thing, but
if you haven't got a safe surface,
it's got to be a big priority.
I think Racing Victoria have done a really good job. Correct me if I'm wrong, DK, but you bet on all of these lower rated meetings. What do you think of the track conditions across the board in Victoria?
Fantastic. But what they've done is they've put Marty Synan and all those guys in the metro, and they're as a mentoring group for all the track managers in the country. So if they've got an issue, they can contact them straight away, get some feedback off them, say, what should I do here? So it just works really well. And the other thing is we've got the synthetic tracks. I mean, this anti-synthetic racing New South Wales, because they think it's second class and they'd just rather race on a crappy turf track than synthetic. But I'll tell you what, it keeps the show rolling here. While it's not ideal, particularly what's happening at Ballarat at the moment, it keeps the show rolling this time of year. So I think they control them. They've got trials on, don't they? Trial on them up there, Walt. So
they do. Yeah, they don't. They try not to, but they often move into them. But the weather's obviously been insanity, right? So you can imagine there's been a lot of meetings lost, which is fair. But I'm sort of talking about tracks that have had 20 to 30 mils for a week, and nothing leading up for a few days, losing. Those sort of tracks, if they can't handle that weather, they either have to be redone or removed from the rotation. Surely, we've probably got too many tracks, and if they can't afford to maintain them, just cull them. But it should be all about safety and consistency, right?
Yep, 100%.
A couple of things popped up in your chat room, something along the lines of the punters committee. So interesting space there. And I do see that Richard Irvine, who I guess championed the minimum bet laws, he's popped back up on Twitter. So it's an interesting time for punters at the moment, given POC tax and the state of things. We might save that conversation for next week's show because we're starting to run over a little bit.
I think it's got legs though. Like it's very quickly touching on it. Like all we're looking to do is try and sort of, educate everyone onto the state of how things really are. And that's all we want to do. We don't want to blame anyone. We just want to sort of bring everything to light and hopefully, improve things for everyone in the industry, not just punters.
DK?
No, I was just saying, Richie, I just because I could see him, he couldn't sit back and watch that ad created by what are they called?
Fair Gaming Commission.
Fair play, the clubs and the tab and everything. And
They're everywhere
I
now,
could just
aren't
see him sitting back and say, oh, Jesus, we've got to do something about this. So, yeah, anyway, and we got more next week and we'll probably take that up, Scooty.
Nice one for a little bit later. I tell you what is still running around is the Manscaped, the weed whacker here in my hand. I had a couple of beers with a few people over in Bali, and I tell you what, their nose hair was just out of control. So Manscaped, the weed whacker, unbelievable. And the feedback I got, I tell you what, Uluwatu and Canggu are just absolutely off their heads at the moment. The shaved pins, I still had, some residual shaved pins, and they were a big hit on holiday. A lot of people said, geez, your legs are looking good there.
I don't know. Every time I watch the UFC now, Manscaped front and centre, they're big time. It's not as if they're just little fish. They're big fish in a big pond.
Type in Little Birdie and you get 20% off. So I just love it. So just
timed you run well there. I think Scooty, though, getting to Bali, she might be cactus there again.
Well, exactly. So I've touched it and I've been there. Now there's foot and mouth on the loose.
Foot and mouth, no good.
I could stop anything. If I go somewhere, it's just tarnished forever. You've had foot and mouth, Walt.
I showed you some footage of it. How was it?
No, not good.
Yeah.
That probably explains why you are like you are today.
Do you want to get it? Holy hell. No one wants to get it.
Jesus Christ. All right, I've got a big treat today. We've got Mug live from Grafton. So he's been up there. It's his punting holiday, he says. So Mug's Moral, we're going to do live. So this is a real treat for everyone. Make sure you check it out. If you're only listening to the podcast, make sure you see him in the flesh. Heard a lot about this Mug punter, but you can see him now.
Sponsored now, isn't it?
What's that?
Sponsored. I saw his tweet was sponsored yesterday.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if he's trolling DK, but low-key, when he did his little update from Grafton on day 2, he had the Busset and Young hat on.
Did he?
Yeah, Busset and Racing.
Where does he get that?
I don't know, but he could be a shareholder in one of the horses.
Oh, I hope he's teamed up with Busset and just to troll DK. That'd be awesome.
I don't know if he was doing it deliberately, but Johnny, I think he had the ambulance out last week in our weekly email. I think it was too wet to tip early, he said. So it's great to have him in studio, and he's going to have a look at. He's
pretty much done the same thing again this week, just quietly, but
yeah.
They say Rosehill's like a quagmire, so hopefully no more rain between now and Saturday, so it's got some chance of drying out.
And you can't stop tipping winners. It's amazing. TopSport Steamers, I tell you what, when I was in Bali, how sick was Edit? I think it was $9. I kept chasing it to 21. Who trains Edit?
Cody, or is it moved on?
Exactly. So Cody has cost me again. So Cody then, and so Cody
what you're saying is last week you chimed into Cody, got reamed.
Big odds.
So then you chimed into 3s on Cody this week, and you're whinging.
Same result, just absolutely.
DK, when was the last time you took 3s on something?
I took Northerly. I laid 3s on. I was at Caulfield Races at Bookies Clarke. I had a monkey in me pocket. And I thought, I'll just double me wages. Yeah, I'll just double me wages.
Please tell me it was the day Freemason beat it.
No, Mr. Trickster. Mick Price beat it. Yeah, unbelievable. That was never, ever again. I got Northerly beat.
The best story I ever heard when I used to work for Frank Manson, the doubles bookie, he said this bloke came up to him. He said, I got 100 left. He said, I need to back a winner. He's like, what can you do? He's like, it's some weight for age race. I can't remember the horse. Anyway, he's at 100 on it, 100s at lobs, 100 to 10,000. This is in the 80s or something. Or no, it must have been 90s. Because he goes then, Kingston Town's running around at 10s on. He has the 10,000 to 1,000. It gets rolled. Oh, my God. He said, he said, I never saw the bloke again.
I think there'd be a lot of people listening to the show that would have taken Winks and Black Caviar and all those sort of things. So.
And the Milky Bar Kid.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
And the Milky Bar Kid, $5.
I backed Winks Black Caviar twice. I backed her in the UK. Won by dead set Pimple, nearly got a beat there. So I backed Black Caviar once, I backed Winks twice. I backed her, she got won by Pimple. And I backed Winks the day in the Turnbull Stakes.
Oh.
And when it was last on the fence at the 200. And
I unloaded on her a second start Caviar, and that was the day she come out of the gate sideways and broke her bloody hamstring or something. Still won, but had to go through that. I nearly killed her the only time I ever backed her.
Still boggles the mind, that one, about the barrier preference that she used to get. And the It's a Done Deal thing as well, still a mystery that they're allowed to move the fence. Just punch that into Google if you want to
and
learn a
Mackay
story.
Diva, they used to water the tracks from Mackay Diva, let her have the wetter tracks.
Mm.
So the champs, a little bit of special treatment there.
No doubt.
Little bit of a tickle. If you're having a bit of a tickle on the punt this week, make sure you check out TopSport. They're Australian owned, and they tip a heap back into the community. They sponsor the mighty Gold Coast Titans up here, and they do a lot. You can see them popping up everywhere, TopSport, so make sure you give the Millhan family a go. They've been in the game for a long time, and they're there to take a decent bet, so don't worry about all these pop-ups. Make sure you tune in to TopSport and take them on. Nico, Noonan, we're going to have a look at Flemington. The Trevor Clarke handicap over 1,000 metres, market only. Geiger kickers 220 and Tappan 3 440, Stupendo 950, and Seal is $11. Nico, on the email last week, Tappan 3 was a tip for you, but it's got scratched, and the Moody camp got the winner there anyway. I'm surprised you haven't tipped it, and what are your thoughts here in race 1, Flemington Saturday?
Yeah, I thought Tappan 3 would have won the Caulfield race last week, and then they've, of course, scratched to run here, and they've bumped into Giga Kick, who DK might know a bit about as well, was a dominant Sale Maiden winner, running some pretty good times there. I think this is a real case of we could be seeing two pretty smart 2-year-olds going around here. I think Tappan 3 is one of the better fillies that I've seen jump out of the 2-year-olds, and I think Giga Kick, he's got a lot of boom about him. They've saved him. I think they're coming back and trying to win, the McNeil and the Vane Stakes, those kind of races. This is a gelding, but if he had a run in a race like the Blue Diamond, I think he would have been well on the market. So
they were very tempted. Listening to Clayton Douglas, he said they were very tempted, obviously, because he ran the time and that good rating. But they decided to put him away and let him develop a bit, and bring him back now as a bit stronger horse.
So I think we're going to start to see that over the next sort of few weeks and over the next month, probably these smart sort of 2-year-olds and early season 3-year-olds sort of next month coming back, and I think this is a case of that. Look, I would have been tipping Tappan 3 if Giga Kick wasn't in the race. This might be a case of just sit back and watch, but there might be something in it for people looking at the futures or something like that, because these two could be pretty sharp.
Outstanding stuff. All right, the first race you're going to preview is Flemington Race 2, the Ken Cox handicap over 1,700. Oceana Blues, 340 favourite. El Corbedes is $5. Philosophy is $5. Lady Adelaide, $13. Saint Tropez, $16. The Red Kite, similar price. Hearts and Minds, $18. Satcham is $19. And $21, Freedom Escape. And that's the horse that you've landed on from the Prushki yard. Going to have a look at the replay now. Pink and Blue. Tell us about this, Nico.
Yeah, this is hard to do at Warwick and Bill. Came the widest runner. It's a track you want to be sort of up there on speed, and he was out the back. Had an apprentice jockey on this day who claimed 3, I'm pretty sure, and he still managed to just round them up and go past them. This was a big win. They went out.
I don't know where it came from. When I was doing my play, I watched the rest of the Warwickville races, and I saw that. And I thought, then I went back and looked at its form. I thought, geez, it's improved. It was third up or something, wasn't it?
Third up.
Really elevated, didn't it?
Yeah, it ran some okay, right? Like it was
just okay, but it wasn't going to produce something like that.
Exactly. It was very wide at Caston. I think what helped it was a very fast run race. To the 600, the leader went 10 lengths above there. So they ran a pretty good overall rating, and I think that will just stand him in good stead to come to town. I would have rather he get to sort of 2,000 metres than 1,700, but he does drop 6 kilos in the weights off that win, and now gets to 1,700 metres, gets to Flemington.
I think bigger track, 1,700.
Yeah, I reckon there'll be sort of a genuine tempo in this race as well, and we've seen it with these 3-year-old races. It doesn't matter what form you sort of bring into. Calm Sir come out and won. Texas T won one of these sort of similar races at $26. Like if you're in form coming into it, that's probably the key to running in these races, and you want to be sort of having a good foundation, a good profile, good camp. I think you'll get back and you'll be charging to the line late, but I sort of thought $21 looked a big price if you're looking to have something each way, and a few of the horses inside the market are a bit chinky, like Oceana Blue. I was sort of tipping her the other day. I don't know if she's sort of as good as what people thought. Maybe early days, come through some slowly run races and looked flashy, but had to actually do something last start and was plain, I thought. So bit up for grabs, and I thought Freedom Escape was definitely over the odds at $21.
What price would you bet down to, Nico?
Probably, like around sort of 7 or 8 would probably be where I'd mark him. It's an open race. Like, that's a benchmark 58. Alcatraz is coming out of a benchmark 60 in Adelaide. So there's he's $5 equal favourite with Philosophy was coming out of the Silver Bowl final. So the market doesn't really know what to do here, but I thought just at the prices, he looked like a horse, right camp, getting out to a trip and getting to Flemington. I thought he could be in the finish.
It might come too early for him. I think it's his first prep and only his 4th start in a race or something like that. But his stablemate is Progressive So he's a progressive staying type permutation.
Gets McNeil.
And gets John McNeil, and he's just trending nicely. I think he sort of ran well at Swanhill, ran well at Geelong. Is a big step up here, but it's not that big a step up when they're racing their own age. And as I said, these things are the top of the market. They're no stars, so it could be made for one of these lightly raced things. And Prushka's done it before at these Flemington with things at good odds in 3-year-old races, Luna Fox and other things. So, but I think permutation can. Anyway, if it's not his day tomorrow, just get his horse to follow.
Interesting booking there, John McNeil.
Yeah, well, Jay, they're all back. I think they're all back from holidays. I see Ollie's back, Jay Carr's back, C. Williams is back
Realize
from
back.
Ukraine. It's all a deep pool of jocks. So, well, they're all back.
All right, the next one we're going to have a look at is race 4, the Flemington Cup, 1849 over 2,800 metres. Through Irish Eyes is $2.70 favourite, Horrifying $3.50. They're saying handbrake off it. Free Rangers tear along in front. Mimi's Award $3.50, Sweet Thomas $11, Papalino $18, St Eustace $18. Southern France, interesting runner, gets Ollie and comes out of a Sydney race at $21 there, and Blandford Lad $34, and that rounds out the entire field. The replay we're going to have a look at is Through Irish Eyes. It's not its most recent start, but there it is, sort of just whacking away in the Rod Lyons nature strip sort of colours there. But since that, I think it got beaten with Jay Carr on board narrowly to Irish Sequel in the Brisbane Cup or the 3,200 metre race up at the Winter Carnival. Nico?
Yeah, well, this replay is apples to apples. This was a 2,800 metre event. This was the Ramsden where Point to PM1 beat Lunacy's. Horrifying's just in behind him there, which he kind of puts a bit of a margin on late there. If that's the similar tactics they want to employ with Horrifying to what they've done sort of the last few, and they go quick out front, I think it will only suit Through Irish Eyes, given that race was run at a very fast tempo. He's coming out of a brutal run, Brisbane Cup, where they went quick. He's had 30 days between runs, though, so that's probably the key to him. And he was similar gap between runs when he went from the Ramsden to the Brisbane Cup. It did look like the race was all over at the top of the straight in the Brisbane Cup. Like he travelled into it. Unless I don't know if he run out 3,200 on the strong tempo. So I think back to 28 is going to be suited for him. This is where his last win came in the St Ledger. He ran the Ramsden the year before and was well in the market, and he sort of ran third there in the Ramsden this year. So he's obviously well suited to this 2,800 metre distance. Jamie Carr goes aboard. And I think he just might be a little bit better than Horrifying and Mimi's Award. Mimi's Award beat Horrifying last start by sort of a similar margin. But I think her probably advantage was staying at that sort of 2,600 metre range. Now they got a rise. So I think he's definitely the horse that's going to be suited to the 2,800. Look, he's probably his right price at around 270. I just thought there was holes in the other two to suggest that this is definitely his race to win. And Mar Eustace, Jamie Carr, they were just absolutely dominant this time sort of last year in these sort of staying races with Heart of Passance, Grand Promenade, South Pacific. Like they were just sort of dominating them. So I think with a similar sort of horse that they're looking to get into the Cups, he's going to be cranked up and looking to win a race like this. So I thought 270 is probably your right price, but I think he'll win.
Yeah, apparently they're really keen to get his rating up. Like while he's run a lot of good races and been, he's a very solid sort of up and coming stayer, his rating's still pretty low. So they targeted this race. They just said he got because he hit the front early there in Queensland and got sort of left as a bunny. The tempo's going to suit here. They're going to ride him midfield, and hopefully they'll roll along the tempo and he finishes over the top of him. That's the plan anyway. For I believe listening to D Eustace.
Interesting runner at odds for mine. Just a bit of a knockout chance, Nico. You can just rubbish me straight away if you like. But Southern France, $21. Any slight hope there? It's got the Skyman, Dr. Drill form, U Spirit.
He's the best horse in this race, Southern France. He's just had a lot of issues ever since coming here to Australia. He's not the most sound horse, and I think that's probably why they went looking for the wet track sort of last probation up in Sydney. That might have been 2 autumns ago now. But look, at his best, he's good enough, but he's got to carry 60 here, and the rest sort of have 54 or lighter. So he's weighted into near his best there, but he gets Ollie. It wouldn't shock me if he got into a place. Don't know if he can win, but it wouldn't shock if he gave you a bit of a side at $21. You'd rather back him at 20s than St Eustace at 18s, or Blandford Lad at 30s. Like if you can find any head-to-head markets with those horses, you'd be piling into Southern France.
To quote Watt, I'm going to have a cashew nut on it.
Just quickly before we leave Flemington, has there been any sort of mail at footy training recently, DK, with certain horse that's going around?
Me and Aussie are getting
race
closer
7?
and closer and closer. Now I'll see him. I'll see him tomorrow night. But no, we sat down. He sat down. We had the night with the kids, bonding night the other night. He come and sat down. He said, tell us what you do. So when I told him what I do, he's got, how good and all this sort of stuff. So, he's got some new acquisitions. And then I ran through the trainers. I ran through his trainers. I won't repeat what was said on here. So I'll veto it first. But he's got his 3 trainers. Kennewell, my favourite. Bazuston, my favourite. And Ma Oosters. But yeah, no, me and Aussie, we're going all right. So I'll see what I can find out.
Well, if you get any mail out of him,
interpretation you're talking about,
race 7 interpretation.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's been 60s into 26 for the Melbourne Cup over the week. So
he loves having a bet go from the
where
futures.
Smoke, there's fire, maybe.
He doesn't sort of bet week to week. He just has a go in the futures and things like that. So he said his fattest result was Sir Dragonet when it won the Cox Plate.
Love it.
Surely if you qualify to manage his children's football career, you could just be his little bloodstock agent as well, your little racing manager or something.
Got one. That's what I thought. But he's got one. He's got the one. He's selling Sierra Sue actually. When's that? Has that happened or is it? Oh, it's coming up, isn't it? Anyway, but he's selling Sierra Sue.
I'll tell you what, if I was coaching Aussie Gear's son, he'd be playing full forward and they wouldn't be
He's in the forward pocket. No. He's in the forward pocket. He's close enough. He's near the goals. He's near the forward pocket.
And I'd have enforcers
every quarter, though. He wouldn't have to go to the back pocket. None of that switcheroo that they do in Little League. He'd be staying forward pocket next to the biggest bloke on the field all game.
Yeah, he'd be opening bowling. He'd be batting first. He'd be doing
what about? He's got the grouse Lamborghini the big Lamborghini, the big one, not the race car. He's got a big Lambo. And Isaac said to him the other day when we were going to the team bonding up at Macca's, he said, Aussie said, oh, nice, Aussie. And Aussie said, do you want to have a ride? And Isaac said, oh, Dad, can I? I said, yeah, go on. Aussie, take it. So jumped in the Lambo and took off to the thing. Isaac got out when we got to Macca's and said, oh, Dad, this is the best day of my life. Because Aussie gave it a bit of gas for him and up the road and everything. And and Aussie came to me and said, geez, a young bloke likes his cars and all that. And then he said, I've got a couple of others here, and he has got a proper Lambo and all that as well. So he said, I'll give him a ride in that in the summertime. Good man, Aussie.
I'll tell you what, if you can just tip Aussie into a one-goer, I think he might sling you a car. He'd bet
don't worry about La Melody.
Hey?
Yeah, don't worry about La Melody. Just find one for Aussie. Absolutely.
If you want more of Nico's action at Flemington, I'll tell you what, this is the time to buy. I've got a big buy 5 months, get one free deal with Nico's stuff so you can get Nico right through for the rest of the season. And if you want to just have a little dip the toe in the water, it's $25 a week. So I think it works out to $17 or less if you buy the bulk, or you can just sample it with $25 a week for the Wednesday and Saturday Metros. Perfect if you like your Metro racing and want Nico's assessment late. I tell you what, I went out for dinner with another big punter the other day, and he said that he loves it when Nico puts a line through a favourite. So if you're a layer and not really a backer, you'll be able to find the ones that look a little bit off or are a bit proppy in the yard if you subscribe to Nico's Mounting Yard Mail, so make sure you check that out. Walt, I've already asked you about Grafton, but it's time to have a look at the Grafton Cup, and that's today, so I'm going to have to send the email out early this week so everyone can get on. So it's 4:05 today, the Grafton Cup. Arapaho is the obvious here, and it's been $5.50 into $3.20. Dr. Drill, $4. Youth Spirit, wow, someone's had a bit of a lick at this. $7.50 out of $8.50, now into $5.
Very annoying, very annoying.
Knocked it off.
A bit higher than that, yeah.
Burbedeck, the horse that we tipped sort of kinda in the Ippy Cup. Alacan has been backed as well, 14 into 11. Smart Meteor, I think Tristan used to own this horse, or still does. And Lloyd, they love Chris Muntz, $11. And Rebel Rama, 13. Ballistic Boy, 26. And you can Bold Contenders, 26. And don't worry about the rest. Youth Spirit, someone that we're going to have a look at here from the Gaybot yard, and it's in behind in that, what is it, first light in the blue and the yellow sort of cap with the white in on the fence.
Very similar if it's not, but that's it, yeah, in the yellow cap there. So it's first up 2,000 here. It was a day where, in fencing run was good, and but on pace was more important. Skyman had the flashing light on it a couple of starts previous and probably thought we'd be in front of Skyman here and had a chance, but once Skyman sort of was in front, it was a losing battle, but hitting the line just nicely there through the line, slow tempo, so probably wasn't quite suited there, and even if you watched another sort of 100 to 200 past that, it was still warming up through the line. Second up, 23.50 is not normally, a real ideal setup, but this horse has got, so much more upside than anything in this race. That Skyman form should hold up with no issue. I've got no... I think Arapaho's form's very hollow. I think that Sunshine Coast form's very hollow. Dr. Drill was in that race. There, and I think it's the main danger. But Nico and that would know Dr. Drill probably better than me. I think 23.50 is like
right at the limit on a testing track.
Yeah, and it could be a bit choppy, which is enough to make it testing. And I just think that any sort of ride for You Spirit, it's just got like insane upside compared to these horses. It's got to give 3.5 kilos Dr. Drill to it as well. JVO's just riding quite well. I've probably just train stopped him there, but $7 this morning was really appealing. I think it's $5 still well and true. I think it should be favourite for sure. And there's just you go through them. Rebel Rum sort of won a little sit and sprint there the other day up in Brisbane. It's just like really hollow form, and Dr. Drill and You Spirit for me are coming out of the right race, and I think You Spirit's got plenty of upside.
I like where your head's at here.
You like where my head's at?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm with you.
You concur?
Yes.
I like it. I like when
steam
you concur.
in after.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Nothing to add there, Nico?
Well, I think with Dr. Drill, like 23.50 probably is bang on his limit, so 2,400. But his last 2 runs of 2,400 around second in the Zipping Classic and second in the Geelong Cup, I'm pretty sure. And in those 2 races, I reckon he would have bumped into better horses than what he's faced here. So
dead set the danger, and he's that night. He's drawn 4. He's going to be like in that first 4, and he's always got that little sprint, and he's going to if there's any chinks in You Spirit, he'll probably find them. But I think they're the clear 2.
On to the somewhat the main course, Rosehill. Main course is just around the corner. Mug's going to come up live, but race 1 at Rosehill is a little 1,400 metre 2-year-old race. Vinny Spirit's a favourite, $3.20. Last start winner, Alberich, is $3.30. Flag of Honour, $5.50. Affidavit, $6. Lions Gate, $12. Zeus and Boy, $13. Diaco is $20. And Renaissance Woman, $31. And $51 or better. The rest, tricky little race this, or is there a moral in here?
Well, the whole meeting's pretty disgusting, but like we're heavy track 2-year-olds. Rail back to the true here. I've just got to consult my big notebook that Nick's given me. Like there's a nice little sign of the
that's
size
inflation.
of the notebook.
I used to have the big A4.
Yeah, I used to get treated with royalty here, the BetStar big A4s that he'd stole from 20 years ago, and now I'm down to little whatever. But yeah, I thought the favourites here were beatable, as in Alberich, that sort of outside leader, and was a decent enough win at Canterbury, but beat a horse that got lapped there yesterday at Warwick Farm midweek. I don't think the form's super strong. It does sort of have upside for sure, but it's very short. Vinny Spirit's another horse that's pretty limited. It's hard fit. It'll be up on speed, but it should be okay to make ground. There's a sort of rattle back to the true. I'm hoping there's a horse, Affidavit. It had 2 runs last prep, came back a different horse. Gelded won first up 1,300. Should get I've got Reese. I just keep finding him. Yesterday, I thought he was on a horse of Quinton's there that he just it was perfect. Exactly the same setup as this. Wide draw, slotting behind the leaders. He dragged it 27 lengths off the lead out the back. And then, of course, the next race rode the One Like Gold. We're hoping that he does similar here because it sort of sat third at Hawkesbury last start. If it rolls forward from an outside draw, I think $7 it, just a bit more experience. 1,300 first up, gelded first on this prep and just can keep going forward, whereas the 2 on paces should be a little bit vulnerable, and there's not much in it. That Flag of Honour landed a plonk at Newcastle its first start. They went really quick there. It wasn't open 1,200 maiden on a testing surface, so it's got upside too, but just thought this one had a little bit better grounding, more experience and better price. It was the best way to go in an open-looking query field race.
I've got nothing to add there. Outstanding.
I've got nothing to add for the rest of the meeting.
I'm surprised you're still awake.
Yeah, well, there'll be 27 scratchings on more, so we'll maybe something will pop up once that all happens on Saturday morning.
Tell you what, Walt has been on fire of late, and racingwatch.com.au is where you sign up, and then you jump into his Discord channel, and I tell you what, the banter's terrific, and the information's very, very strong. They bet on everything.
I reckon we set a world record last night in the state of origin. Holy hell, didn't it light up there late? There must have been about 100 messages a second going through there at one point. But it was.
So
there's no holds barred. What about the chess? Did you like the chess mail? Even though it didn't come off. We were betting on the Chess World Championship lead-ups there the other day. Oh, my God.
There's a lot of serious stuff in there, and there's some real funny, strange rorts out wide, and some of the results in some of the exotics are really tricky and hard to find. So novelty markets, you can find a rort there too. So make sure to join the Discord channel and racingwatch.com.au. It's definitely worth a subscription there.
Last line on Neighbours, that's been a big multi-banker for a lot of people in there. It's been
I missed that
You
one.
never know what you're going to miss. You're going to get in there.
It's like the wire. You just got to listen carefully. I find you can.
The more you put in, the more you get out, Nick.
Any wonder you don't sleep because if you followed it all, you'd just be tied to the desk all the time. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and our man is at Grafton on a punting holiday. It's been spoken about for a long time. Actually, he's right with us now, so I think we're just going to cross live to Mug Punter at Grafton. How are you, Mug? Welcome.
Nice and cold and fresh up here at Grafton today, but it looks a good day at the train.
Mug, how's the battle been over the last couple of days? Have you got your nose in front, or are the bookies taking your money? I see Juppy's up there.
Yes, down over bookies. First day, I think everyone's come out even after Bartend's got beat yesterday. The bookies took the lot, I think.
I think we're off some bad reception there. I don't know where you parked up there, Mug. You're under a tin shed. I tell you what, reception's terrible.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the bush, boys. That's why I stay every year, because you can't Grafton, nothing. You got to book as soon as the last race jumps.
And what about the food on track? Obviously, you're a aficionado of all sorts of takeaway. I think the best thing I've seen you eat is the schnitzel with the pasta on top. What's the food like at the track at Grafton?
Boy, best thing is everyone's going for the ham roll at Grafton because it's the quickest thing to get in and out. That's what everyone's pumping. The basic ham roll, boys.
And what about the Grafton Cup today? I see Johnny Walter. He's tipped up Youth Spirit. It's been $7 into $5. Do you share his thoughts there?
I do like let me just get my race piece. I do like Dr. Drill today. It ran very good last start in the McKell Cup. We look like getting to getting to a good four today. So, yes, I like Dr. Drill and also like the Richard and Will Freeman thing for Alacahan.
Alacahan. Some smart money early for it. 14 into 11.
2,400 metre run under its belt.
Yeah, it's got the 2,400 metre run under its belt, so it's definitely a good roughie to play. Now, Mug, everyone wants to know your best at Rosehill. It's your home deck. You got the black shorts on when you go there. So, what's the moral for this week, mate?
Race of honour. It beat the older horses last start. I like when the 2-year-olds beat the older horses. The map it opened, I think some places open 8, so I think they might have typed in the wrong number, some bookies, and they got, so map good, midfield, good track, very good jockey switch from Jeff, good barrier, and we'll be going to find our bookie boys.
Flag of honour there in race 1.
Head-to-head, race 1.
Rosehill is going head-to-head with Wild. I love this. Race 1, number 3, Flag of Honour. Beat the older horses, 2-year-old. It's got H. Bowman on now from Jeff Penza, so he gets a nice little up gratis there. And then Walt's already tipped Affidavit.
I like it. Well, at least we're both taking the two favourites.
You're taking the favourites on, so you're with Mug.
Hey?
The other big question everyone's got is, when are you guys going to go head-to-head? Get a bank each, start.
Like, my big question is, who's taking over the bag? Who's looking after the bag while he's on holidays? Like that's an important role. Like who's servicing the regulars?
How long are you off for?
I'm back at work this Monday. Back at work on Monday. So Mum even gave me permission to miss a birthday last night. So I must be a good boy in the household to Mum.
Mate, you got to keep your bread buttered well there. But you'll be out at Rosehill on Saturday, wouldn't you, mate? You wouldn't miss it for the world.
No, I'm still up here because we don't leave till Sunday. We've got a big barbecue here on the Saturday. We watch the footy, the league, and punt in the house we stay at. So, I'm back on track next Saturday at, I think it's Round.
I think we're just going to have to pull the plug on the segment. But Mug's moral, Flag of Honour. So it's race 1, number 3. And Walt's got Affidavit. I think first past the post gets to choose the meeting that you guys go head-to-head.
You've got to give him a Rosehill meeting. I'll let him have a home field advantage if that's what he wants.
Golden Rose Day.
Yeah.
Racing Watch versus Mug Punter.
Golden Rose, that's a bit heavy. Like maybe earlier in the carnival.
Run the Rose.
Let's go early.
Oh,
it was a shame. We didn't even get into the culinary. Oh, you asked him about the food on track and things like that. And what did he say? Ham roll. Yeah, that'd be right, Mug. As plain as anything. And then looking at his social media, like he's up in Grafton. There's restaurants. I think you said, Walt, isn't there's 5 clubs, pubs, and get beautiful meals. But I believe he's just been ploughing into the say the KFC and the Red Rooster, and
I'll tell you what, Juppy was pretty dirty with the chicken parma that he got at the local pub. He's even had a pot of gravy. I tell you, if you have to have a pot of gravy with your chicken parma, you just give the joint absolute life. I see Juppy's also bagging Queensland pies, so next time he comes back to Queensland, I'll have to take him to Yatla.
Yatla pies. When it's not underwater.
All right, Mug. We're gonna have to get you on the pre-record next week. Back to basics, but it's a real shame that the audio is just crackling there, and I'll blame Telstra. I'll blame Qantas.
I think
I'll
it's the
blame
amount
everyone.
of people that are tuning in.
Huh?
You know, they're just
melted.
We've
the
just
stream.
melted Telstra.
But there it is. So flag of honour. He likes Dr. Drill in the cup today, and fingers crossed he can get a result. And I think Alacan was his roughie there at $11, so maybe it'll hit the line. Big thanks to Mug, and hopefully he gets through the carnival unscathed. And Tiffany be watching the Bunnies this week. Are they playing or they got the bye?
Hopefully Cam Murray only played 26 seconds of Origin, so he should be fresh on Sunday. He might have a headache.
If you're allowed to play on the backup of concussion. Okay, let's kick on to the TopSport Big Bets. Here's one for you, Nico. Flemington race 9, number 12, and it is unanimous. Are we backing or taking that one on?
I honestly nearly tipped this on the show. I just thought his first jump out was really good. His second trial, I just don't know how forward he is for this run, but here with his sort of damaging turn of foot that he shows late, I think he's definitely in play here. Would have loved if he drew wider, but I can see the appeal at $19. I think he's in for a good prep unanimous. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a sort of open class listed grade this preparation, and I think at sort of 19s he's worth his roll at the stumps with Mar Eustace and Ethan Brown, who's absolutely flying. So I thought that was a big price for sure.
Into $16 now with Lloyd and Tristan. Race 8, number 5, My Yankee Girl, 600 at 650 is the next bet, and it takes on Passero. What did you think of Passero first up?
I thought his run was solid. He probably brings in the best form coming through the Creswick, and then his last go at the track and trip, he did run second at Pinstriped in the CS Hayes, where he led him up that dang. Kind of fell in a bit of a hole late. I kind of thought it was a 2-horse race between him and Daytona Bay. Don't know if My Yankee Girl's bringing in as stronger form as those two, but she's in very good form and does like the wet track. So Flemington currently a heavy 8. That's probably her advantage on the other two, the real rain affected ground, but I think they have more ability.
Interesting, Bussett. They were super bullish first up, so be interesting to see what happens with that horse. Rosehill race 2, number 5, Genius Ravanelli. That's a top sport bet.
Can you believe this horse?
$400 at $10.
So like Jeff Keogh, good luck to him. He could be the worst jockey in the history of racing. He's ridden this horse. It's won twice. Actor God, he destroyed it at its first start. The other day, he sort of sat 4 wide for 500 metres. Then he jams it to the front. Then he puts the brakes on, nearly kills everybody in the race. And the horse went okay. It's a talented horse. You think, well, they'll learn their lesson. They'll put it right at
Jeff Keogh. Yeah.
The next couple of weeks are a
Imploded.
nightmare. Everyone's away. There's just so many away. You got Bowman there, but he's in cruise control. It's just diabolical. I'm looking forward to sort of 2 or 3 weeks. I think McDonald's back next Wednesday, and maybe this following Saturday, a few of them are back, and we'll be looking forward to that.
You love the pain, though.
I do love the pain, but I don't like inflicting it on others around me. I like to absorb it all myself.
All right, I think that's it. I think we're going to be here just to torture ourselves and you guys until the Winter Carnival. So Terry Layton will be on the show later in the year with the Winter.
What about Big Bertha? We've lost him. Tommy,
Who?
where's Tommy?
Tommy
Turbo. Yeah.
No, so he'd be just doing his best at Fortitude Valley, I would have thought. The Valley, that little track work stable rider pub that they go to after the last at Eagle Farm, he'd be doing that.
I just look forward every week to what he was wearing.
Beat the Bagman's been recruited to Ladbrokes.
DK and I could open like depression bet or something like that, or like pain bet or something.
Bad beat bet.
Feelthepain.com or something like that, or maximum pain or something.
Embrace the pain.
Embrace the pain.
That's it.
Cupboard
That'd be us.
bet. Cupboard bet. You put your bet on in your cupboard.
And then you just jump in the cupboard.
Cupboard bet. That's it. Lock that in. I was in
Let's
there
do
on
it.
Monday. I was in there
Let's
for
do
2 hours on Monday. I was off my head on Monday when that thing got beat. I went off. Fuck. Did I go off? Couldn't
I think we
believe it.
need more. Although I saw you put it up on Twitter. I think Isaac just needs to interview you more. I know.
He's keen, mate. He loves it. He's, Dad, he asked me if I could do it, and then he said, and then he's checking me on how many views we got and things like that. And has anyone made a comment? And he's right into it. So I'll get him. I said, next time we introduce yourself and Isaac reporting for Little Birdie, and you can interview me and stuff like that. So he's right. He loves it. That's the kids these days. They love watching YouTube and all the YouTubers and that. So he's right into it. Loves it. So just got to be able to back a winner. Back one winner a month.
You're a YouTuber.
He goes to school and tells everyone his dad's a YouTuber. That's it. He's proud. That's good.
He does.
Exactly.
It pumps me up. It's good.
Outstanding. If you're still tuning in, we'll be back next week.